I know a man who judges men by the size of their bank accounts. I won't tell you how he judges women. He's been fortunate enough to have wealth and the benefits thereof in this life, and although he does have some compassion for those less off, he still shows a lot of judging people by the size of their bank accounts, whether they're small or non-existent. How important is money to you? Welcome to Getting to Know Jesus. I'm Glenn Koppel, Minister of the Word. This week's lesson comes from Lesson 39, which is in Getting to Know Jesus, Volume 3. If you'd like to follow along with your Bible, our Bible text is in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 24. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are good, the whole body will be full of light. But if the eyes are bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he'll be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Who is your God? Egyptian mummies were buried in pyramids full of their valuables. They would even take their slaves and kill them, and maybe even the wife or wives, and bury them with them, and animals, because they thought they've got to have these things in the other life. Well, at least they believed in life after death. But everything that they left behind was nothing but fodder for the grave robbers. And there have been those who have broken into the pyramids just to steal the valuables that were there. Someone once asked John D. Rockefeller how much money was enough. He replied, $1 more than I have. We look at people who've had large sums of money, and if you really know anything about their lives, they're not any happier than you and I who are struggling for money. Look at people that have won the lottery or come into a large inheritance, and how many of them have been ruined by that sudden acquisition of great wealth. Some have gone into divorce. Many have gone into bankruptcy. They've ended up just as poor, if not poorer, than before they had that money. So what good is it if a man gains the whole world but loses his own soul? Jesus asked that question. There was a story about a man who was buried in Texas, buried in his Cadillac. His car may still be in the ground. His physical remains may still be there with it, and whatever else that he had. But that Cadillac is not with him where he is now. In fact, his money and clothes and anything else physical isn't with him where he is now too. I have no idea whether he was a Christian or not, so I don't know where he is. I just know that his Cadillac's still sitting there in the ground wherever it was they were buried. You know, my old buddy Zig Ziglar says, I've had money and I've not had money, and let me tell you, life's a whole lot easier with it than without it. Well, you and I would agree, and just about every one of us are still working on acquiring more money for what we consider the basics of life. Here in the United States, we've got so much stuff, we don't realize how 90% of the world lives and how little they live on. And yet, you can go with me. I've been to people's houses. I've been to poor people's houses that love Jesus. And you know, all the money in the world can't buy what Jesus gives. Now, money's important for the church, and money's important for us to live on. I mean, hey, I've got to have money to pay the bills here, or I can't do this Getting to Know Jesus ministry. So yeah, it is important, but how much is enough? As I said, Jesus said, what good is it if you gain the whole world, but you lose your own soul? What's most important in your life? Getting more money? Or using the money you've got for the glory of God? It impressed me many years ago when I didn't feel that I could afford a Christmas tree. But my neighbor down the street, who happened to be a member of our church, in his compassionate heart, he couldn't afford a Christmas tree any better than I could, or at least I didn't think so. But here he showed up on my doorstep with a Christmas tree for me and one for his family too. Kind of humbled me and kind of made me check my attitude a little bit. But you know, more rewarding than money and all the money in the world is knowing that you have done your best to walk with Jesus, and that you've used your life and the money and whatever other resources you have to help other people with their lives. That's how you lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. It isn't how much you have. It's what you do with it. Is your money your servant, or is your money your God? Something to think about. To keep up with what is happening, follow Glenn Koppel, GMC for Jesus, or Getting to Know Jesus on Plaxo, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and check out our other videos on YouTube. These comments are taken from the Getting to Know Jesus Bible Study series and supported by your gifts. By partnering with us in the financial needs of this ministry, you're participating in fulfilling the Great Commission, taking the gospel to the whole world via internet technology. To send a tax-deductible gift, please go to www.gettingtoknowjesus.org and donate online, or order the Getting to Know Jesus books for your own Bible study of every event in the life and teachings of Jesus. Thank you for partnering with us as we fulfill the Great Commission. God bless you and have a great week.